My name is Njoroge Bigscope. I'm in the construction industry as a building contractor, where I help my clients to achieve their dreams of having a home. It is a dream of many to own a home, and it's a basic need that should be realized according to someone's preference. So welcome all. I'll be taking you through this. It's a process that will take, I believe we're going to be tackling quite a lot. Welcome again. We're looking at how to get started in construction. Because you see, most of the people don't know, rather they lack that chronological sequences of where do you start, what goes where, that process, and that is why I'm here. So I'm here to partner with you in realizing this, and for anyone who maybe is planning to build, you can always talk to us. Our numbers are projected on your screen. You can reach out. We'll start from where do you start when you want to build. It will begin from having a plan. Before you get a plan, you need to have your land. You have to have a land, and in this case, if you want to, because you have to go through the process of project approval and registration by regulatory bodies, by the county government, you need to be the legitimate owner of that land. So what do you need to have? You have to have some documents, other documents that are needed, and this will include a title deed, a surveyor's plan. We also need a KRA PIN, land clearance certificate by the county government, and the most recent search. Again, if you're planning to do a commercial building, apartment, high-rise commercial building, you need to also have need to have a change of use, because maybe land was registered for agriculture, and now you want to do commercial. So that is why you need to have the process that maybe as we continue with our episodes, we are going to tackle on project registration. Not project registration, but change of use. I know once you have these documents with you, you look for an architect. It's the main consultant that comes first. Once you get an architect, you let the architect understand what you plan to do, what you want. That is the sizes of your rooms, the number of rooms that you need, any orientation that you would want your building to have, to encompass. You let your architect know. And then our architect will take the details on what you're intending to do. We'll put them in paper and prepare a proposal, a sketch proposal that is put into paper as a drawing. And this proposal is presented to you by the architect, describing and illustrating, letting you know exactly what he has put there. And once he has taken you through, there will be a copy that you will call the final drawing, because you're in agreement that this is what you want. The orientation of the rooms, arrangement of the rooms, number of rooms, and utilization of these rooms. For example, if it's a 4-bedroom house, there are things that come with it. Maybe you look for having a kitchen that has a pantry. How about it? How are you accessing it? What can you store there? Such things. Once you are comfortable with what the architect has presented, it will be for the architect to introduce or to nominate or to get a person that will work together. Now the team will start building, bringing in the personnel who are taking part in this project. And the next person to come in will now be the person who now designs the integrity, the structural soundness of that house, and this is the structural engineer. He's coming in to look at reinforcing your building to make it that it is withstands the live loads, the dead loads, the wind stuff, and to make sure that it stands the test of time and the building is habitable and safe. That is the work of an engineer. He will look at, he will design for you for structures, that is the beams, the columns, the foundation works, the slabs. And this is where now the engineer will now come up with the kind of steel that you need, the number, the thickness of steel. You have steel of different thicknesses, the number of them, why do you use them, the bar bending schedule, the arrangement of the spacing, and the class of concrete, the thicknesses of beams, depth, slab, foundation, how it looks like. That is now the work of engineer. Once the engineer has done that, another guy is coming in, and this guy is now the quantity surveyor. The quantity surveyor will take we call them taking off. We take off the volumes or units of your building from architectural, both architectural and structural drawings now presented to the engineer will be used. He will use them in conjunction to come up now with the bill of quantities. But before we get there, before we talk much about the quantity surveyor, there are some other people that I would want, other consultants that I would want to mention about. Sometimes I don't want to say that we overlook, but I think it is a good as a contractor, having experienced different scenarios in site over the years, I think it is good to, at this level where the quantity surveyor is, just before the quantity surveyor comes in, or even if the quantity surveyor is there, and there is, that can be guided by the architect, because it is good for architect to touch on other aspects of this building, like the services. Services will mean electrical works, mechanical works. That is what I mean by services, because they're the ones that make the house livable. And also looking at aesthetics, there is another person called interior designer, and also a landscaping architect, because sometimes from my experience, these other people, that the services team, the engineer, the mechanical engineer, if at all is to be brought on board, engineer, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, landscaping architect, and even the interior designer, sometimes they are brought in when it is too late. And you know what that will mean? It will have a very big impact on the budget. And sometimes there are some situations whereby the architect, the landscape, the interior designer comes in when the structure is already put up, and because of the functionalities and how maybe they would have their own ideas of aesthetic and functionalities, they propose some changes. That these changes, they bring up the element of valuation of variations, which is a cost that is now subjected to the client. But if they comes in an early stage, almost during preliminaries of this genesis of design, it can save a lot of I would say issues of having some costs that were unforeseen, and now you are trying to bring them when it is too late. So it is good. That is why I have mentioned them at this point. At this point of design. And now, once we have the design, now going back to where we were on the design, that now the design is put up, we have architectural drawings, and we are comfortable. We have structural drawings, we are comfortable, and now we have given we need to have a budget to know if this is what we are doing is visible, or whether we can continue with it, or if they are going to be at some adjustments. To go now, that is how we mentioned the QS coming in to give us now to look at the quantities and rate them and have a BOQ. But that will encompass all the elements from foundation work all the way to finishes, landscaping, civil works, all of that. It is good to have it for the client to make informed decisions and to know if all the elements that are put, because there are those that can wait. But if the budget allows, then we put everything together. We put it up together and work on it. Now, once we have done that, which is now the next level of getting approvals, and the approvals we are getting from county government. For county government, they will require the same document that we had mentioned. We mentioned about the title deed. We mentioned title deed. We mentioned land search. We mentioned clearance certificate that comes from the county. That is land clearance certificate. We also mentioned the search. We mentioned the search and maybe change of use for commercial buildings. And KRA PIN. This is what you'll need now to, and now when you are submitting the drawings for approval, so the county will verify your drawings, and of course there comes with charges depending on the size, and county to county they definitely have different rates from county to county. Now once they give you the quotation, it is now for the payment to be made, and then you submit all the documents. You go through the documents, and after some time they will definitely, first of all, there's a document that you will give. They will give a notification of a notification of approval. From notification of approval, you will now get your drawings approved, and together with that there will also be a construction permit. And also, once you have those documents ready, it means now you are almost getting ready for construction. Okay, I'll mainly here dwell on single dwelling for the residential building, not commercial, not apartment, not commercial building. Not at this point. For commercial, we'll look at them later, so that we don't mix up things. Now that we have the drawings that are approved, once you get approved from the county government, we want to proceed now to the next level. And the next level will be now to register now your project with the National Construction Authority. At the NCA, that is now the regulating body. They are the ones that register the project, all the projects that are coming up under construction. Before you start, you definitely need to get a register with them. The requirements that you need will include the contractor that is registered and with a valid practicing license, an engineer that is again with certificate and valid practicing license, an architect. Okay, the whole team should have certificates of register or certificate. They should have practicing license and practicing certificate. That is certificate and practicing license that are valid. Once this is ready, they also need that you have the contractor and developer should have a contract agreement that is signed. The construction, the other team, that is the consultant, as well should have that. They should have a contract document, and the developer should also download, fill and sign what we call a commitment letter that is ready to adhere to the rules of the game by the National Construction Authority. This other team, the consultant team, should also have the same commitment letter for supervision. It's also a requirement that this is also there, and their documents, their licenses should also be ready as to be uploaded. To be uploaded when submitting the application, which is available on the portal. Also for the commitment form by the developer, the form is there in the portal to be downloaded, filled, and once it is filled and signed, it is scanned and uploaded for construction authority. Now, once that is put together, now they are submitted to the county government, the National Construction Authority. At the National Construction Authority, they will verify these documents, and once they are found to be in order, they visit the site where the construction is taking place. And when they are coming to site, there are things that they need to see. You need to have a holding it is also good that you also factor all the preliminaries that need to be done. They don't have a fight with us when they are coming. They at least want to have a site that has holding. The site board is already put up, and safety signs are already there. Once they come and find that this is mainly when they come, those are the things that they look at. And immediately after they have visited, if the site does not have issues, they proceed in issuing a certificate that is now put. It is sent to the email that is applying, that has applied for this project registration, and then from then it is you can download and print and have a hard copy on site, or you can have it for your site, for your project. Now, once you have all this, the next level, which I think we're going to discuss later in broad perspective, is now the process of, we are now almost getting started. We need to make sure that we have the preliminaries. We are ready with the preliminaries. We are done, and now we move on to planning. On planning, we go to 4 elements. The planning, we plan for this work. We do the planning, and also execution, planning, execution, monitoring, and closing of this. So that is where we'll take it up from next time. Until next time, I'm Njoroge Big Scope. You are building and construction contractor. Kindly subscribe, and to reach out to us, reach out through the number projected on your screen.